This might ruffle a few feathers. And for the younger generation, that means that you might feel a certain way. Not everybody should be wearing barefoot or zero drop shoes. Yeah, I said it. I know they're trendy, and for many people, they can work really well. But your feet, your structure, the type of activity, and even your tolerance all matter. I'm gonna tell you my own personal story. Years ago, I worked in an office that was right down the street from all these really cool coffee shops. So instead of driving, I walked everywhere in uncomfortable shoes. So over time, I started developing pain right here on the outer portion of the ball of my foot. And it was just on that one foot. So when they x-rayed my foot, I found out that I had a tiny bone missing right here. And because of this completely changed my thought process on what type of shoes I should be wearing. I now understand that I have a structural difference. So the type of shoes that I'm wearing has to be very specific to the type of activity that I'm performing. So that means for me that I need a little bit of extra cushioning for long walks and also runs. Now, could I train barefoot? Yeah, absolutely, on like my lifts, on like my weight training. I love a more minimal shoe that doesn't have much cushioning in the wintertime when I can't go barefoot. Small walks, everyday use, perfectly fine with a minimal shoe. A shoe that works for one person might not work for the other person. There are definitely some golden standards like a wide toe box, but the amount of cushioning really depends on the activity, at least for me. So if you're someone that's dealing with plantar pain or recovering from an injury, or maybe you have a structural difference like me, it's not that any of these shoes are universally good or bad for someone. It's just finding the right shoe that works for you. I have a lot of people asking me like, what type of shoe should I wear? It's not really something that I can answer, but what I can tell you is that you want something that keeps you stable. You also absolutely want a wider toe box. That should be universal across the board. One of the best ways is to go to the store, physically try on the shoes. And when you go to the store, make sure that when you try them on, stand somewhere by a wall so that you don't lose your balance, and try to stand slightly on one leg. If you feel like that cushion is causing you to rock around and move around too much, that's gonna be an issue. So remember, it's not necessarily minimal cushioning, it's definitely the shape of the shoe, but you want enough to be able to support the type of activity that you're doing and also complement the structure of your feet.